You're listening to Haze Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio. You know, it's like, and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, what do I have going on? And I realize, I got a guest and I'm coming in the studio, and it's always exciting when it's someone that I already have known or gotten to talk to or speak with. So it's been an interesting couple of weeks because the past 2 months we've been doing a lot of stuff on Clubhouse, which was a really interesting app that I think a lot of people are going to, know what it is in the near future. But those that are already on it and beta testing the app, they are experiencing a whole microcosm of crazy emotions, feelings, and knowledge, and a lot of networking going on. And that's where I met Sara, and I was lucky to not only have her, but a lot of other people come on everybody's other shows on the network, and have been popping in and seeing the faces of all these people that have been on this lovely app. How are you today?
Well, we didn't catfish you. We are who we are. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the day. And you came in from Michigan,
from
right?
Detroit. Can you see I lost my voice?
From all the everything.
Yeah, we have a name for this. It's called Cali voice. When you come out here, you smoke a lot of weed.
Oh, yeah.
And you lose your voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good weed.
Eddie said, tell Drew I said, what's up? That's my favorite guy.
Tell him what's up. And he got to be sitting in the same seat as you, getting interviewed just about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And he'll get to hear the nice audio version of this that he doesn't get to hear on the phone.
No.
Because it sounds a lot different, right?
It's very crisp. And I sound like Miley Cyrus.
You're a rock star, right?
Apparently.
Yeah, you got the rock star.
I met her once when she was out in Detroit. She was filming a movie, and she was with Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore when they were still together.
No shit.
Yeah, she's just as wild as you would think she is.
That's an experience, right?
It was no cameras. They were like hella strict about that, but it was cool.
Really? And what was your take? You got to talk to them, or did you even meet them, or did you just see them?
Yeah, we actually took them to an after party.
And what was that like?
We took him to this place called Mars Bar in Hamtramck, which is a side city in Detroit.
Okay.
And it was open from like 2 to 6. They wanted like a late night private place where they wouldn't really be seen. It's 420.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Favorite time of the day.
Will someone smoke for us?
You got a puff for us?
Please.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I met them. I was really young, and it's crazy. We were just talking about celebrities. They're just regular people.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about what you did prior to being in the cannabis industry.
Well, just prior to that, I was working on my catering company. My dream was to open my own restaurant.
Okay.
I'm a level 1 sommelier, and I love hospitality. I love food. I'm always the person in the kitchen. So
being a sommelier, for those that are, listening that don't know what that is, why don't we explain what that is?
Someone who's been certified and educated to recommend wine and pair it along with food in a culinary and hospitality environment.
And that's an awesome job. I always loved going to restaurants and ordering wine and having the sommelier there to kind of say, hey, what are you eating and what are you doing? And, kind of coming up with what is good to pair to help enhance. Can you explain why certain things really pair with, if you gave a basic,
super easy example. I mean, if you can't explain anything easily, you don't know it well enough. And so the easiest way to say that is if you were ordering a chicken Alfredo pasta, thank you. If you're ordering a chicken Alfredo pasta, you wouldn't want to drink a Pinot Grigio. And so maybe...
Why?
Because the high acid in Pinot Grigio would make the cream in your mouth curdle, and I'm not sure that's the experience that the chef would give you. So you would probably want to have something like a buttery, unoaked Chardonnay, because it's not going to have such high acidity, but you could still have a white wine, but that Pinot Grigio is not going to give you the best experience.
Now, that's pretty crazy. Now, would you say then, if someone doesn't know, that sometimes doing something like that can induce one just having a stomach ache? Or
yeah,
not
they'll leave.
like
They'll have a stomach ache. They'll think the restaurant did something and that the restaurant wasn't
up to par. Yeah,
but
sure.
actually it was just because the server wasn't educated enough, or the sommelier wasn't educated to know that that high acid and that cream is going to curdle. And so they really need to keep that into consideration and but still honor the white wine, that the guest wants.
Wow.
So.
And how long were you doing that for?
I've been studying wine. So God, I'm turning 34 next month. Since I was 20.
Since you were 20?
Since I was 20, yes.
Okay. So you've been doing that, and then when did the catering? How many years were doing a catering?
I launched to Paris in June of 2018 when I left the corporate world. So got my business degree, worked in the corporate world, but I always loved wine and food.
Sure.
And, that was always my side gig.
And always go to a restaurant, you want to pick out a bottle, or you always very...
Oh, that's my job.
Yeah.
In any trip, like we go up north.
He doesn't even get
Everyone knows, I'm the one in the kitchen.
Hell yeah.
If it's wine related, they all just look at me.
That's great.
I just ask them what the budget is and, what we're looking to eat that evening.
Now, do you find that the more you are knowledgeable on the regions and the different things, do you find that you can scout out the more exceptional deals, let's say, because the company, doesn't command as much of a higher value?
There's a sweet spot.
You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely a sweet spot.
So break it down to me.
I don't think if you're spending less than $10,
you're getting shit.
Expect some sort of feeling in the next day.
Okay.
You really should not be surprised. You're getting what you pay for.
Okay.
But there is a lot of wine between $10 and $25 that if
can be great deals.
Can be great. You just throw them into the craft and no one would know.
Sure. Absolutely.
And so, definitely.
Very
you can ball on a budget when it comes to wine.
Absolutely.
It's just knowing where. And then also, I think a lot of people don't store their wine properly.
Okay.
And so the wine goes bad.
Interesting.
And when you're doing that, then you also think that the wine is gross, but it's actually the way that you stored it.
Get out of here, really. Sure.
Yeah, I love it. It's something that I never regretted learning, but it was the hardest thing because the exam for it was broken down. Wine tasting was just a small part of it. That was only one small part. Bless you.
No, thanks.
You had to do the chemistry, which was what we just went over, geography, which was pairing all the regions,
sure,
as well as the food and culinary part and pairing food together. And so it really took a lot of studying. And I think everyone knows when you're 30 and over, it's harder to study. So it was great. And I'm looking to do my level 2 sometime this year.
So what made you go into cannabis? What was the transition? And then I know you wanted to let me know the announcement of the company that you formed, right?
Yeah, so this is actually my 3rd cannabis company that I launched here.
Okay, let's talk about the first. Let's go in sequence.
We went rec.
Okay.
So it was December 1st, 2019 in Michigan.
Sure.
And I was always a medical patient, but I am a Lebanese woman raised by immigrants.
Okay.
My parents are Muslim.
Okay.
They're very religious.
Okay.
I am not. I'm kind of the black sheep of my family, and that's okay.
Okay.
But they had their opinions. They think cannabis truly is the devil's lettuce.
Really?
But
really,
I feel like my actions have proved otherwise. And so with that, I like having my life almost be a testimony, an example to them that, don't judge a book by its cover.
Sure. Throughout the years, have they looked at it as it changed?
Don't smoke in front of them.
Okay, but...
Come high, but don't smoke in front of them.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, at least that's a big change, right? They probably weren't always like that, right? Or not?
My mom kicked me out of the house when she found a blunt wrap. I went to Montreal.
Oh, my God.
For my sorority formal in college when I was at U of M. And I came home, and my mom had cleaned my room, and the blunt wrap was just sitting there.
Hell yeah.
And she's like, "Are you smoking?" I'm like, "Clearly."
I love it.
And she, she was like, "No more smoking." And I was like, "Well, that's not going to work." And I picked up and left. And I probably was dramatic because I was young and she was probably dramatic.
That's great.
But we look back and think, like, look how far we've come.
It's fucking awesome.
And, everybody talks about breaking the stigma, but you got to start at home.
Yeah, of course. And what was the first project then?
Sorry, I'm getting I'm trying to read. So we launched Savor and Smoke. So I was brought in to make a 20-foot munchie board because I told you I had my company, the charcuterie board. I'm more of a food stylist. I love that.
So someone calls you up and says, "Yo, we want some fucking cannabis stuff." Let's do
my former partner was a huge influencer in Michigan.
Okay.
And so she had said that she wanted to do a safe meet and greet to meet everyone.
Sure.
And I said, okay, I'll make everything.
She needed the talent.
So I put on the event. She brought in the network.
Sweet.
We had G-Pen sponsor our dab bar. We expected maybe 80 to 90 and like almost 200 showed up. We ran out of things.
Oh, damn.
It was a nightmare and shit show of a first party, but it also taught me a lesson about like being prepared.
Okay. And that was?
And just being prepared, I mean, anything.
For it to go out of control.
Well, for example, like my bathrooms were flooded and we were down to one restroom. There's just things you can't control.
Sure, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, you got to roll with it.
Now, what would you have done? Had extra, like brought in some porta potties, knowing something like that, or what would have?
Every time I scout a venue, I ask about the plumbing.
Sure. Oh, I got you. Knowing this thing, yeah, you got to ask right away.
Yeah, but you know what? And so we did.
Can you handle all these people coming in and shitting?
Dude, I had a CBD infused like juice bar. I couldn't I had so much food. We had a collab with like White Castle, and we did this like little tower of White Castle sliders.
Oh, stop!
We did a candy bar. We did an influencer private room with this candy bar.
I grew up on the East Coast. You mentioned White Castle.
Do you know who Airsoft Fatty is?
He's not the same here.
He's like a YouTube influencer.
I'm not familiar.
I'm really tapped into like the gamer market. Okay. So I did some like cannabis gamer collabs, and that really helped me grow.
You on the Twitch or what? That's what the gamers are on.
You know what? No, and that's something that I really want to reach out to your boy Adam Ill about, because I know he's like a
Twitch master,
Twitch junkie for sure. But no, and so the pandemic hit, and you know what? Like the pandemic, I think put a lot of things in perspective for everyone. And Secret Canna Club came to life in October.
Sure.
And everyone always knows I kind of have a speakeasy vibe about me. If you know, you know. And, I always say, don't worry about who doesn't come, celebrate who does.
And it's a Zoom thing.
Well, so it had to be. I haven't, my last physical party I threw was February 29th, Leap Day. And then we went into the pandemic, for cannabis at least. And so with that being said, we haven't been able to do
fun. Let's talk
an
about
in-person event.
Talk about the first one you did and how many people showed up and what was it like?
It was in Detroit, and I was shitting bricks because it snowed like 6 inches. And I'm like, no one's going to come. Oh my God, this is horrible. And it was actually way better than expected. And, it was great. Like I took that I stole that moment to just stop as an event producer and just, look around and say, wow, young and old, black and white, women, men.
Yeah, everybody.
Mids and exotics, all of us in one room. Look at us. And let's put our, let's like have some fun. But, I haven't been able to throw an in-person event.
And then when did you go to the Zoom event? What was that like?
Well,
How many people?
I launched Savor and Smoke TV in May of 2020.
Okay.
And
is that a .com? Is it still?
Well, no. So that was on IG. I used to do like
Okay.
Awake and Bake
Okay.
and interview guests.
Oh, sweet.
And it
Hell
was
yeah.
just a way. But then we transitioned into Zoom when I had Secret Canna Club.
Sure.
We do giveaways every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We do sponsors. We
That's
bring
tight.
in special guests. So, and then it's like
And how many people joined that virtually?
we have anywhere between, because people pop in and out,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a 2
yeah.
to 3 hour thing.
Yeah,
So I would
sure.
say anywhere between 40 to no more than 80, because I know my limit's 100. So if I get more than 100, I got to upgrade.
Oh,
my
then it
Zoom.
says it freezes. Please give us
I get
more
up to-
money.
So no, the first time I threw my first Zoom party, I had no idea that they cut you off at 40 minutes. And so I'm like in the middle of this
Oh,
Zoom
shit.
and it cuts off at 40 minutes.
But if you pay for a special thing, you can
Well,
do as
then I
long as you want or
upgraded.
no. And
Yeah,
then-
I upgraded to the first upgrade, so I have up to 100 people. I haven't broke 100 yet, but I
okay.
will.
That's
I'm
tight.
definitely going to break it for sure because I have Cheech and Chong sponsoring my next one.
Oh, of course. Hell yeah.
So I'm definitely breaking that
Shout out
one.
to, did you do that with Danny?
Yes, DK.
Of course.
He came into a lit lounge and he's like, yes.
Yeah, I know Danny. I know all those guys down here.
You know everyone, Andrew.
Like a couple people.
You're so cool.
Not everybody.
No, seriously, I loved all the weed that we just smoked. It
Oh
was
my God,
fabulous.
there
Thank
is
you
so
so
much.
much. And that swag bag for, I need to step my game up. If that's
yeah.
the way you're doing your swag bags, I'm going to go home and.
So talk about the new launch, the new company. Let's talk about what that is. And the
Okay, drum roll, please.
name. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm sure when I'm listening back on that and I hear myself do that, I'm going to cringe. So I'm going to acknowledge that right now.
I got you.
So, January 13th, my life changed because that was the day that I got invited on Clubhouse.
Yeah. And you know what? Oh, you know what? That is so weird.
What? What are you doing? Are you checking yours? Go to your profile.
I might have
right
been
now.
I might have been invited the same exact day.
And I
How
gotta
funny
tell
is
you
that? That
how
would
I
be
got
hilarious.
invited. You're gonna
me see.
It's a story.
January 13th.
No way.
Yeah. Is that funny?
What? Hold on.
Is that hilarious?
Oh, I was like, "Where's my phone?" And I'm like, "Where's?"
Yeah. Yeah, you're Instagramming on yours. But it's okay. But that's funny. Same day. We got invited. That's hilarious.
All right.
So let's talk about that. So,
Okay. So
on that fabulous day.
it was 2 days prior. It was 1/11, January 11th.
Sure.
I was on Instagram and I follow this luxury blogger. I don't even know her, but I'm all about travel, and stuff like that. So she's like, "Hey guys, I have 3 Clubhouse invites. All you got to do is like this post and comment just one thing." It was super easy. Didn't take much of my time.
Sure.
Didn't think twice of it. The next day, I'm like, "Oh shit, I won." She has close to, I don't know, 100 to 200,000 followers. I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Damn." So I was like, "What is this Clubhouse shit?"
And she's your nominee, which is tight.
Yeah. It's super cool. So I was like, "What is this Clubhouse shit?" And so then I get on a Clubhouse. I'm like, "Damn, there's really relevant cannabis community." And I don't know. I don't know where the idea happened. I just know that I ran downstairs to my fiance and I go, "I just created a company." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Are you high?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." But I'm like, "For real?" And he's like, "I Canna Talent." And he's like, "What is I Canna Talent?" And so I Canna Talent for me, everyone knows I'm an actress and a model. Well, if you know me, you know I'm huge into the entertainment business. And the representation of cannabis has always been lazy, stoner, heady, just one-dimensional. And I think it's really, given some fuel to the stigma that we're all trying to break. And so what I wanted to do with that is hold this space where I could have a creative agency. I'm already a social media manager.
Sure.
And I've been freelancing that. So this is finally a company for me to be able to put that all together and stop freelancing. But we specialize in cannabis content for more women in the industry,
Sure.
people of color, veterans, and people with disabilities. Because I just
Sure.
don't feel like I see enough of us, And so what I do is I'm consistently on dispensary tours. We talked about all I do is study cannabis brands. And I'm seeing a trend. And
Okay.
so with that, it's like, if you can't beat them, create your own table.
Okay.
And we're going to make a really long table, and it's pretty badass. And so it was crazy. I'm like, how am I going to do this? And why not come to where cannabis is king?
Sure.
And plus, it doesn't help that my two best friends live here.
Well, so that's good. So let's give a shout out. Who are the two best friends?
Shout out to Farah. Shout out to Crystal. I love you guys. You both drive me crazy, and I know I drive you crazy, but I love you, and I can't wait to see you. They're actually from Detroit, and they moved out here.
That's cool. How long ago?
Both of them like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been back and forth since then.
So they're fully Cali acclimated.
Yeah, they're like, fuck Michigan.
Yeah.
Never going back. Fuck this place. Yeah. My Farah lives in Long Beach, like Belmont Shores area, and Crystal lives in like East LA.
That's cool. How do you like
Shout out to my friend Jessica back home in Detroit. Love you. Thanks for holding it down back home. Sorry, she's like,
no worries.
Want to make sure I got the whole crew covered.
Oh, yeah. And any favorite like restaurants or food you got to have here?
We ate at Katana twice because I stayed at the Mondrian. Like some of us stayed at the Mondrian, some of us stayed at the Grafton, which are literally right next door.
The Grafton, absolutely.
And with the potency of cannabis we were smoking, it wasn't smart for anybody to operate a vehicle if they didn't have to.
Absolutely.
So we went to Katana, and the first
Grafton's got some old school, like funky, like wild looking rooms.
Dude, you should have seen the content my photographer showed me with one of the models. It was quite terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I've seen this somewhere, but I don't want to say where I've seen this.
The bar there is like old school famous. That's funny.
The bar was not open because of COVID. The pool was.
That's cool.
And the Mondrian had their last call at the Sky Bar at 8 on a Saturday in LA, which I thought was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They just got to open up.
That's terrifying.
All there was nothing. So at least you got to do what you got to do, which is great and definitely fun. And you came out to shoot and to take content for the company?
Basically, I came out to make sure that if I was going to have the hardest work day of my life, I imposed it on myself. Because when I looked at the itinerary, I was like, who would do this? And then I was like, oh, I did this. So we started with 8:30 in the morning at Runyon Canyon. We shot 3 photo shoots, a total of like 6 brands there. And are these brands from Michigan? They're from all over. I don't want to say until some of them I can say. So we shot for Ganja Chica. She sponsored the whole shoot. Okay. Shout out to Linda from Ganja Chica, because if it wasn't for her, there's no way I could come out here and do what I did. Like And what is Ganja Chica? So Ganja Chica, she's been out here. She's from, she works at Leaf and Lion, I believe, in Long Beach, but she's out in like the Corona area where she's from. And she just makes, she's been making cannabis fashion for like 10, 15 years. I mean, she's old school. And it's crazy because we met, I did these open casting calls on I Can a Talent on Clubhouse. Okay. And that's how I met most of these people, was Clubhouse. And so not only was this the launch of this amazing company that just kind of manifested on its own and was dropped into my lap. Sure. But I got to like kind of orchestrate a Clubhouse reunion. And it was really, really gratifying and fulfilling to not only see people follow through and come out. I mean, Eddie came from Texas. Sure. Marissa came from San Diego. Oh, wow. Let me see. I came from Detroit. Sure. And then everybody else came from all over California, which, as you know, is giant. Oh, yeah. With tons of traffic. It's the 5th biggest economy in the world. It's ridiculous. I have never... I hit a curb. Allegedly. Oh, okay, I got you. I hit a curb on Sunset. I was literally moving my car from the Grafton to the Mondrian Valet. Oh, yeah. And this curb jumped out of nowhere. Oh, no. It was this, you know what? Someone should call, the height of that curve is unacceptable. I would complain. I'm going to. I don't think they're going to care, but. Probably not. But. I'm going to.
You'll have the gratification of doing it, I guess, right?
So, but besides the traffic, everybody in LA has been really nice to me. I don't think I've encountered anyone who was off-putting.
Sure.
Besides Jason Beck. Shout out to Jason Beck for being the worst person and also best person I've ever met.
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did a dispo tour for Secret Canna Club, shot a couple dispos, but it was, for the most part, I smoked hog's breath because one of the models, her uncle, was, I guess, the originator of hog's breath.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, you pulled a strain that comes down from the late 90s, probably.
No, I got it. It's great.
Oh, that's great.
It's amazing.
Nice.
Was
it sativa?
I don't even know. That day, my goal was to shoot as many cannabis brands as possible with as many models.
Sure.
We went from Bronson Caves, Running Canyon area, Griffith Park. We did that from 10 to 1. We shot at Milan and Rick Ross's son's...
Jeffrey.
Jay Ross, Jay. Down in downtown LA. From... It was supposed to be 3 to 5, but it ended up being more like...
Were you covering their brand, Jay Ross's brand?
You know what? We actually didn't. We actually did not.
Interesting.
They did not bring it. We, of course, offered for sure, but we did not because we're going to come back and do more of like a tour and an interview, and we want to do more separate.
I see.
But everything was super chaotic with the models.
Sure.
And we were very limited in the shots we got, but I will say that we captured some of the most beautiful golden hour shots of the clubhouse crew. I would say that moment truly did not feel like work.
Oh, I got you.
I felt really lucky.
Sure.
So shout out to everybody there. Shout out to Milan and Jay's baby Sunny who stole the photo shoot.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. The first photo shoot, shout out to Dottie, Marissa's dog.
Okay.
I'm going to cringe. You guys, I've lost my voice. Oh, look, Savvy just jumped in. Shout out to Savvy. And my uncle's in here. Hi, Khalo.
Hell yeah. Shout out to all the friends and family jumping on Instagram. They're like, what is she doing? What is that crazy background? Where is she? We know where you are.
I am in Los Angeles speaking to Andrew Picalis. Did I say that correctly? Pinsacalis. See, I'm from Detroit.
On Haze Radio.
Haze Radio Spotlight.
Yeah. And we met each other from Clubhouse.
We were sitting there at the restaurant and all these people were like, how do you all know each other? You guys have this amazing, have you been friends for years? Are you lovers? Or, are you family? And we're like, oh no, we literally just met. We're all just met today.
Yeah.
And it felt like we didn't, only because we've had hard conversations, funny ones.
What's interesting is what people don't realize is it's a joined experience that adds up to a lot of people. And I don't have it in front of me, but I have analytics to Clubhouse, to rooms that I've been in.
So do I.
Yeah. So, when you start getting all that stuff and you start getting all those analytics, then it's like taking on a whole nother form in itself.
I call it crack house.
Do you know what I mean?
I took the week off. I jumped on here and there, but I'm not hosting rooms, moderating. And I will say being off it has showed me.
But what I was trying to say though is this analytics that I get tell you how many people come in the room, how many
total.
All that
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
But then they also tell you
the trending rooms.
Well, how many hours everyone who was in that room collectively. So let's say it was a 4-hour room. It might have been 20 days of listening because 1,000 people were in that room listening for a certain amount of hours.
So how do you market that? What do you use with those analytics?
I don't know how you market that part of it, but it's just interesting because what you said is you feel like you spent years with the person. But collectively, in one of those rooms that 1,000 people went through it in 3 hours, collectively, if they took everybody's time that's spent in it, everybody spent 2 hour and a half this, and they added it all up, it equaled, some of these things equal to 3 weeks of people's time, total of 1,000 people. So you have that relationship because everyone, in essence, spent a lot of time knowing each other's personalities, right? So if you do it week after week after week after week, people constantly going on, you start to get to know them because you start listening to them speaking all the time.
It's like accelerated life and relationships. It's really, I keep saying this is the world's biggest experiment. And I also think that when they release those clubs, I call that week Clubgate 2021. That was when everyone lost their shit.
Oh, that was my birthday. It was a very monumental day. I had an epiphany that day.
Lots of screaming. And you know what? Here's what I think. I honestly, truly think everybody deserves a seat at the table. We all don't need to be in the same rooms as each other, and that's okay. In real life, that wouldn't happen. And so let's like kind of keep it real, but also know in business that we have to respect each other. We don't have to like each other.
Yeah.
We got to respect each other.
Absolutely.
And everyone deserves to, get that bag.
Yep.
There's enough. Guess what? It's a plant. We can grow more.
Absolutely. And it's a burgeoning business. Billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of people, not just in the U.S., but around the world, that have been affected and learning about this great plant. So I think it's great that you got to definitely come out to Cali.
I think it's the start of something like I can only describe that night with all of us celebrating the launch as kind of like the hangover because we lost Eddie, the weed trainer. So funny thing, we went to the Bronson Caves, he went to Running Canyon. We went to the Wayfair Hotel, he went to the Mayfair Hotel. We went to Katana, he went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Don't know how that one was, the last one but he blames your swag bag.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
He literally blames your swag bag on that. So I'd like to blame you for one of my models' tardiness. I had to style him last at every single shoot. It was.
He enjoyed his trip. He doesn't have anything.
We all
like
enjoyed our trip. I'm literally going.
You actually have better access. He's going back to where really is nothing for him. So he got to freaking really enjoy his gift bag, for sure.
I'm gonna go right to. So I'm gonna buy some milk at LAX and have a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, right. That's great.
You know what I mean? Just
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's the one thing I am taking with me on the Passover, is whatever you call it.
Oh, hell yeah. Take the gummies easier.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the graphics on that shit
are
God, suspect.
Oh God.
I want to arrest that little toucan Sam. I feel like he's trapping right now in the back.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have trusted that bag in the back. You should put it No, but this place is so dope, and I appreciate, shout out to Heather Jane for making sure that I had to come down here and say what's up.
That's my homegirl.
Yeah, Heather Jane's good. See, I met her off Clubhouse. I mean,
she knew. I knew you'd have fun coming down. That's why I said once you came here and came. I
knew you would have fun coming down.
Oh, you mean
you too?
Well, I mean, I'm here.
Well, I mean, now you're having more fun.
Yeah,
so high five.
Absolutely, high five. Any shout outs to any other friends and family out there?
No, shout out to my cat, Frank Sinatra. I love you. I cannot wait to see you. That's
a great Frank Sinatra. I love it.
Frankie.
And is there a website?
He's a cool cat.
Is there a website for the launch of the talents, Canna Talent?
There is Canna Talent. There's Canna Talent on Instagram. There's Canna Talent on Clubhouse. There's iCannaTalent.club. We haven't really, I think you and I were just talking about, like, how is this going to be something that we didn't expect we would have, like the Lit Lounge, for example. We're creating merch. This is really something that we've taken on.
Is this the club that you chose your name for? Is that yours?
I have 3 clubs.
Okay, let's shout out.
We have the Lit Lounge, which I am associated with. So it's a funny story. I was my first week on Clubhouse. I was hella professional. I was like, "Hi, I'm Sara, blah, blah, blah." And I took an edible and I'm like, "Oh shit, I can't go in any of these rooms. Like, what if somebody asks me like a serious question and, I lose my credibility in one night?" And so I didn't have my club at the time, so I just made this room called The Lit Lounge, presented by the Secret Canna Club.
Sure.
So Marissa jumps in, Stone, Chemo, all the hoodlums, all
I love it.
the peanut gallery, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
We call ourselves the peanut gallery for sure. And they all jump in. It was like 4 people, and they're like, "So what's the point of this room? Like, what is the Lit Lounge?" And I'm like, so I took an edible. I'm too lit. So this is where we're going to get no educational value. And then I'm like, and they're like, well, I'm like, meet the dopest people in the cannabis industry. And I literally blurted it out. And now that's our fucking tagline.
That's great.
And from that, those 4 or 5 people, it grew. And then last week we were sponsored. Shout out to G4, the Bud Tender Awards, who are in this live right now. They sponsored the last one. We gave out a bunch of tickets.
That's great.
Myself, Jason, Marissa, a few people are going to be keynote speakers. So
that's great.
May 21st through the 23rd.
I heard about the event. People keep
you know
talking
what?
About it.
They are shining the spotlight on people who never get, the spotlight shined on them. They're the front line. And so I think it's hella dope, and I want to be associated with anyone who does that.
Nice. Hell yeah. We're going to be doing the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards, so we're pretty psyched about that. We just partnered up with them.
When is that?
July 10th at the Sahara Convention Center.
Are you inviting me or are you telling me?
Oh, we'll work it out. You can come for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of part of arranging some shit.
So tell me, what is the awards highlight?
There are all these different categories. I cannot fully speak
So
about
pretty much it's a cannabis industry.
Oh, yeah, it's a cannabis. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it was at the Hard Rock, and then too many people came, and then they did it at the Sahara Convention Center. Then they did a break because of COVID, and then they're back for...
Is it like a one-day?
7-10, yeah, one-day event. And Kushstock is on the floor above.
Oh, it's 7-10. Okay.
Yeah, it's on 7-10.
Gotcha.
The awards is on one floor, and Kushstock is on the second floor.
So can anyone nominate, or do they have to be nominated?
I don't know all the details about
That's
that.
really cool.
We're a media partner. We just joined up with them, so...
Well, the reason I say this is I definitely like to support any cannabis awards ceremony.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I see, hearing, like, for example, Sabrina was telling me that the bud tenders who had won these awards, it really changed their career, elevated them. You see with the High Times Cups, it really elevates people's careers. So anytime that we can have a platform and give that recognition where we can, we're elevating and really propelling our industry.
What are the other 2 clubs before we
got Secret Canna Club. I do Puff Puff Astrology under there. So that's just a room where we smoke and talk about astrology. And then we have Secret Canna Club, I Canna Talent, and the Lit Lounge. Yeah, that's the 3.
Hell yeah. So if you're on Clubhouse, check out those clubs, and you can check out our Instagram, all the different clubs that we have.
And ping me into all your rooms, Andrew.
We have a few.
And then please make me a moderator so my feelings do not get hurt.
Oh, no, I got you.
No, I'm just totally kidding. Poking fun at all the bullshit, you guys. At the end of the day, let's keep it real. Let's just stay lit. And thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, and it was a pleasure. We'll definitely see you when you come back again. We'll have all these great stories, and we can catch up on I Canna Talent, and if you guys get a chance, definitely check it out.
Yeah, so any brands that need cannabis content, or any influencers that need that want to make cannabis content, please reach out and let us know, and let's break the stigma together.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you guys.
Andrew.
Download the app. If you don't have it, it's free on your phone.
I got 10 invites. Hit me up.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, hit her up. She's hooking people up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're listening to Haze Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio.